If you've been around the fitness space on social media, you've probably heard people talk about cutting carbs in order to lose weight. What if I told you that cutting carbs to lose fat might actually be doing more harm than good? What if eliminating carbs isn't just unnecessary, but the real reason your results have stalled? In this video, I'll show you a smarter, science-backed way to keep carbs in your diet and actually burn more fat effectively. And in order to help showcase this, it all starts with making this peanut butter sandwich. Now, let's clear something up first. Carbs itself is not making you fat. Excess calories do. And studies consistently show no special fat loss advantage compared to low carb versus a regular diet. Of course, provided that your calories and protein intake all remain the exact same. Now, the reason why people claim that cycling off carb-fueled sources, like this lovely peanut butter sandwich that I'm making, is because of the loss of weight when cycling off carbs. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, wait a minute, doesn't that mean that theoretically I should cycle off carbs if I can lose 10 pounds within a week? Now, to that, I say no. Now, first off, remember that weight loss and fat loss are two different things. Yeah, both come in from calories in and calories out, just like how I'm tracking my macros right here with this scale right here. But if I were to just cycle off carbs, most of that would just be water weight and potentially muscle and not actual fat, making you not only look less strong, but also make you also feel less strong and like you have zero energy, which is not what we want. Now, the reason why I'm explaining this is because one of the key things people explain why you should go keto or cycling off carbs is because you potentially just lose a ton of water weight, like potentially 5 to 7 pounds after a week or so. But again, this initial weight loss is just water weight, not actual fat. The body stores carbohydrates like, your peanut butter or your bread right over here in the form of glycogen. And glycogen molecules bind with water, which is why if you're serious about fat loss, then you should be weighing your food and tracking your macros, just like I am right now. Now, if you still question why do we need glycogen and you still think to yourself that we still need to cycle carbs off of our diet, don't worry, I'm gonna break down its effects on training right now. Well, after I finish eat this. Tasty carb-fueled sandwich. here's the truth about carbs and training. They are your body's preferred fuel for high intensity workouts. Have you ever noticed your workouts suffer when you severely restrict carbs one day? That's because your muscles rely heavily on glycogen, the storage form of carbs to fuel intense exercise. That's why if you look at the top pro athletes' diets, you actually realize they don't actually prioritize protein or fat. They prioritize carbs, believe it or not. If you also see pro athletes perform, what is that sports energy drink that they be drinking during break time? Gatorade. And what's inside Gatorade that makes it so valuable to athletes? A form of fast digesting carbs. Despite what keto warriors on the internet preach about cutting out carbs, that's why you can't actually find many, if any, top pro athletes who eat carbs in their diet. This matters greatly for fat loss. The better your workouts, the more calories you'll burn, and the more muscle you actually retain. Retaining muscle keeps your metabolism high, accelerating fat loss, ensuring you achieve that toned but lean aesthetic physique. Of course, with adequate training. If I have provided enough value for you guys so far, please leave a like. And if you guys need more help to not only lose fat and keep it off your body, but to also build your most aesthetic physique, please consider subscribing to the channel and click the first link in the description to download my free 90-day workout plan to put you guys on the fast track to building your most aesthetic physique. Now, onto what avoiding carbs do to your metabolism. Here's something most people don't actually know. Your body actually needs carbs to keep your metabolism running efficiently. Extremely low carb diets can negatively impact your thyroid hormones, specifically T3, the hormone responsible for regulating your metabolism. Scientific research has demonstrated that prolonged low-carb dieting can decrease T3 production, slowing your metabolism and making sustained fat loss much more difficult. A 2022 randomized controlled crossover trial published by PLOS ONE found that healthy individuals following a ketogenic diet for 3 weeks experienced a significant decrease in their active thyroid hormone T3 compared to when they followed a high carbohydrate, low fat diet. This drop in T3 occurred despite both diets being isocaloric and participants maintaining consistent physical activity levels. So T3. Since T3 plays a crucial role in regulating metabolic rate, its reduction can lead to a slower metabolism, making fat loss more challenging over time. In simple terms, when you cut carbs drastically, your body may respond by dialing down your metabolic engine, thinking it's conserving energy for absolute survival. Additionally, carbohydrates support healthy leptin levels, a hormone crucial for appetite control and energy balance. So when your leptin drops significantly, your body can ramp up hunger and start conserving energy, slowing fat loss and increasing cravings. So cutting carbs will just make things more difficult in the long run, as you will just be feeling hungry and not effectively burning as much fat as you could be. Honestly, when I explain all of this, I feel like this is such a big explanation as to why Brandon Carter, one of the biggest influencers leading the charge on keto diets, is on steroids. Now, I'm gonna be honest, as much as I love Brandon Carter for his content and being such a huge inspiration for me, his keto diet is just something I can't agree with and follow. Now, he has openly admitting to being on steroids, but the real reason he hopped on is because he said he's been feeling sluggish and unable to work hard due to his testosterone levels dropping. While I do understand that age can be a factor as he is in his 40s, it couldn't have dropped that significantly, especially because he works out a lot and makes sure to sleep well. I mean, this is literally what Brandon Carter is known for, is taking his sleep absolute top serious. While I am no doctor, based on the information, I say that he feels like this due to the fact that he was on a keto diet, which eventually made him feel more sluggish over time. This shows that by maintaining moderate carbs throughout your diet, you ensure healthy thyroid and leptin levels, helping you stay lean and energized throughout the day without hitting frustrating fat loss plateaus. Now, here's what most keto warriors get wrong. Yes, your body can adapt to low carbs. It'll switch to ketones for fuel and make glucose through gluconeogenesis. But just because it can doesn't mean it's ideal. Study after study shows that when calories and protein are matched, low carb diets just don't outperform moderate carb diets for fat loss. And in many of these cases, performance and energy take an absolute hit. In one study, elite race walkers improved their performance on a high carb diet by 6.6%, while the keto group actually got slightly worse. And it doesn't just stop there. A 2025 study in the International Journal of Sport Nutrition and Exercise Metabolism found that when athletes regularly consume carb-based drinks during exercise, not only did they perform better, their gut adapted, making it easier to handle carbs without discomfort over time. In contrast, those taking in fat-based drinks didn't see the same performance or adaptation benefits. Translation: your body doesn't just tolerate carbs during training, it actually gets better at using them for fuel to help fuel performance. But it's not just your body that benefits, your brain does too. A 2009 Tufts University study found that women on a low-carb diet experienced noticeable drops in short-term memory and recall tasks during their first couple weeks of carb restriction. Now, here's the kicker. These impairments actually reverse once carbs were reintroduced. So while you might think clearer on keto early on, your brain's literally running on backup fuel, and it shows. So while the keto crowd says you'll adapt, the truth is you'll adapt by slowing down. The version of you on carbs trains harder, thinks clearer, and burns more fat more efficiently. So why handicap yourself by running on backup fuel system when you could be running on premium? To effectively incorporate carbs while still losing fat, I would follow these practical strategies. For one, prioritize quality carbs. Choose whole, fiber-rich carbs like oats, sweet potatoes, quinoa, brown rice, fruits, vegetables. These foods digest slowly, keeping you fuller longer and stabilizing your blood sugar, which also helps to prevent excess calorie intake and cravings. Timing your carbs right. Eat a good portion of your carbs around your workouts, preferably high glycemic carbs such as honey, white bread, sport drink, or heck, even some candy once in a while, of course. Consuming carbs before and after your training sessions ensure you have energy for your workouts and recovery afterward. Your body efficiently uses carbs for glycogen replenishment during these times, reducing fat storage likelihood. Keep portions reasonable. Aim for a balanced plate. About 1/4 starchy carbs, 1/2 vegetables, and the rest lean protein with healthy fats. Of course, make sure you weigh them and you track it with MyFitnessPal or MacroFactor. This ensures nutritional balance and helps maintain a calorie deficit for steady fat loss. Pair carbs with lean protein sources at each meal. Protein combined with carbs slows digestion, enhances satiety, and stabilizes blood sugar and helps preserve lean muscle mass during fat loss, which is again really important. And finally, remember, calories in and calories out. If you're tracking your food, portioning them with the right macronutrients, and making sure you're eating less calories than your body burns, you will lose fat, and in the process, build a healthier relationship with food. Carbs aren't your enemy. They're your ally when used strategically. Cutting carbs drastically is just unnecessary, unsuitable, and could slow your progress. Instead, include carbs intelligently in your meals to boost your metabolism, fuel effective workouts, and support hormonal balance. The smartest, healthiest way to sustainable fat loss is a balanced approach that includes carbs. Fuel your body right, train smart, and enjoy better lasting results. Peace.